This year starts a new phase for West Virginia high school sports. After approving a new transfer rule in the Mountain State this past March, student athletes are granted a one-time transfer to the school of their choice. While transferring has always been a thing in high school sports, the legality of it has had mixed reactions from the state ahead of this school year.
I see both sides of it, and I think it comes down to each individual situation is kind of unique, and that's kind of my approach with it. Each situation, each kid, my advice for them would probably be different each time. So I think ultimately I support it, but I think there's definitely some caution that I would provide when kids come to me for insight.
For teams in our area, growing up and playing sports with your best friends is a staple of athletics. But as the times change in sports across all levels, more and more athletes are coming together to build super teams.
You know, when I grew up, you had like Michael Jordan, he played for the Bulls his whole career. You had guys like Kobe, and I guess the AAU mentality where you team up with everybody and make a super team, it wasn't a thing yet. And, you know, with the transfer portal now in college athletics, I think it's just made that way of thinking more popular.
The transfer rule is a new one these coaches have to deal with. They have to instill the culture of a town, school, and team to a player who never experienced it before.
I think that's something that you definitely need to be worried about is how the school that they're coming to, and you know, for ours, for example, will they understand the tradition and the pride that comes in our program? You know, I think what I've been trying to do since the first day I got here is reinstill the tradition and the pride so that when you walk into our facilities, you understand that it's a big deal, right? And our kids understand that it's a big deal.
Growing up, kids dream of throwing on their hometown jersey and representing for their community.
I think there's something to it. Staying in your hometown and, you know, competing and being on the same team as all the guys that you grew up with or girls that you grew up with, and just having, I have a strong sense of pride and community and where I'm from, and if they think that they're going to get a better opportunity somewhere else, you know, now is the prime time for people to do that. But like I said, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a fan of it, but it is what it is, and we just got to deal with it the best that we can.
The happiness of the player is the most important part. If they don't like the situation they are in, they are now free to find somewhere they can play and be happy. But for coaches, bringing in players from all over can be a big challenge.
You got to make sure you're bringing in the right type of kids and making sure everybody's on board and understanding that, you know, it's ultimately the ultimate team sport. Can you bring a group of people that have not worked together previously, and then all of a sudden marry all these personalities together and all these talents and all these kids looking for touches and make them one team and make them be happy? I see that being the biggest difficulty when you have multiple transfers coming in.
From Parkersburg, Evan Lasik, W.TAP Sports, this is home.